It's winter time. That means it's cold outside, but we want to stay warm inside. Even in Central Florida, it's going to get down into the 40s and the 30s. So today I'm going to make macaroni cheeseburger soup. So these are the ingredients you're going to need. Ground beef, balsamic vinegar, butter, whipping cream, thyme, oregano, celery, carrots, flour. I'm going to use a better than bouillon to make 6 cups of broth, onion, garlic, macaroni, green onions, pepper, salt, and sharp cheddar cheese. So I know what you're probably thinking, Bridgetta, that is way too many ingredients. I don't want to buy all those ingredients, but I say trust the process. It's going to be a delicious soup. And our first step is I'm boiling the water, and I've added going to add some salt to it, and we're going to cook the pasta. And once it's cooked, I'm going to set it aside and let it cool off and go on to the next step. I've cooked the pasta, and now I'm going to set it aside and let it cool because I want to stop the cooking process because it will then continue cooking once it's in the pot. So now I'm chopping my vegetables. I've got carrots, celery, and onions. I've already chopped the onions. I did 1 small onion. And also when you're doing your celery, use these leaves because they're very tasty. They'll be a nice addition to your soup. So I'm going to take all this over to the stove in just a minute as soon as I'm done chopping. And my pasta's still cooling. I have my celery. Now I did some of that while the pasta was boiling. I was able to get started on that. Now, of course, you could use frozen if you didn't want to use fresh. But I had these left from another recipe, so I wanted to use those up. Now we're going to add our pound of ground beef. We're going to cook that over medium heat. Good job. While you're doing that, I'm going to add the oregano and the thyme, a teaspoon of each. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. You want to try and get some of the fat out. Okay, I'm now going to add 4 tablespoons of butter. So we have celery, carrots, onions. All right, our next step is to salt and pepper again. This has to do with seasoning every layer. We're also going to add the garlic at this point. Keep stirring it around. Oregano and thyme. Okay, we'll let that go for a few minutes. Now it's time to add the flour. So this is 4 tablespoons of flour. That's to coat our vegetables. Stir that around. And the next step says just add a little bit of chicken broth, and that's to release some of this flour on the side of the pot. So I used my better than bouillon and made chicken broth and made 6 cups. So it says Just use a small amount. See how this does. Now we're going to add the rest of the chicken broth. Okay, stir it around. We want to get everything off the bottom of the pot because that's where some of the good flavor is. Then we're going to add the pasta back in. Thank you very much. Got a couple stragglers there. All right, thank you, sir. I'm going to stir. I know some of them were stuck together, but that's fine. They'll separate. Okay, now I'm adding in a cup of whipping cream. This is regular whipping cream. I would have preferred heavy, but my store didn't have it. I think it'll be just fine. I'm going to turn the temperature up a little bit. Now I'm going to add in my 8 ounces of shredded cheese. Normally I would shred my own cheese, but we had this package and I wanted to use it up. It was perfect, saved me a step. Lastly, we're going to add the ground beef. I'm trying to be really careful it doesn't splash up on us. There we go. And then about a teaspoon of the balsamic vinegar. So I just finished making macaroni cheeseburger soup, and we'd have to say we added more salt and pepper, definitely more than what it recommended, and more balsamic vinegar, and made it much better. What do you think?
Well, you know, any kind of soup, or for that matter, any dish, you're going to have to taste it and season it a little more to your liking, but it definitely needed salt, pepper, and a little more taste to it. It's kind of bland, but now it tastes great.
Yep. I like it.
And here's the final product. You added some cheese on the top.
Yep, and some green onions.
Some chopped green onions here. Very nice.
Gotta be careful because it's hot.
Vegetable. Talk much?
I'm not sure, do you? Go ahead, what were you going to say?
The vegetables give it a nice depth of flavor.
Crunchy, so I didn't cook them too long. Now be careful, you're going to have to stir this a fair amount because you don't want the cheese to get stuck on the bottom. I had a little trouble with that, so I had to keep stirring it.
You're right, the celery, stalk, greens do add a lot of flavor to it.
They do. I used to throw them away, I didn't know.
That's amazing.
I like this.
Wow.
Definitely good.
This is very delicious.
I'm happy with it. And now I have too much food in my mouth.
Well, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.
Right?
And
don't forget the recipes in the description box. So if you click on the title, it'll open and all the information will be right there. So thanks so much for watching. We hope you share this recipe. It's always good to share good food with friends and family. So we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
I'm driving, you're smiling, just really doing nothing. That's the thing I like about you. On the highway, it's our way, Route 66, and we keep on driving. We just do what we wanna do. Yeah, no, nothing's complicated.